Hey, this is your girl Pulse Reed. Hello. Hey, you all know me. I am Pulse Reed, one of many prodigal daughters who just decided to come home. And since I've come home, it's made all the difference in my life. Yes. Okay, today I want to share with you, and I want you to listen to a podcast that we did on yesterday. I want you to listen to BMOMB, is B Mom B. And the podcast is entitled Becoming or Being a Mom of a Mentally Ill Baby. When we say baby, we're talking about a child, your child, okay? Go to Buzzsprout, BUZZSPROUT.com and look for BMOMB podcast. Or you can go to RSS.com and go to the relationship section and look for the BMONB podcast. And today I wanted to come on as a follow-up to the podcast and share some things with you regarding my experience as a mom, a mama, a mother to a child who has been diagnosed. Now, let's get some stuff straight right off the rip. I understand that there will be many people who come on. Oh, I got a little piece of hair, honey, that's flipped up there. Okay, many people will come on just to be nosy. That's okay. Then there will be people, prayerfully mamas, that come on who understand what I'm sharing as far as my struggles in becoming a mom of a diagnosed child. Okay. And then there will be those who come on just to be curious, and that's cool too. Maybe God has you on here because you know someone who's going through what I am experiencing now, and you will be in a position to aid and or assist them as best you can. So, first, I need you to understand I will not be elaborating on my child's diagnosis. Next, I am sharing my struggles. I am elaborating on my struggles as I continue to grow and learn how to transition from the role of just being the birth mama to the role of being a mama to a child diagnosed. Okay? Yes, to me, there's a difference. The third thing that I want to share with you right now is I realize that some of you aren't going to get it. It's okay. My intent for doing this live stream is therapeutic for me. And I pray that it'll help another mama who, for whatever reasons, feels like she is all alone in this role of becoming a mama to a child diagnosed. Okay. Again, I want you to go to buzzsprout.com or rss.com and look for the BMOMB podcast. I did that podcast with the one and only Mrs. Nevada Gooch, and she did an excellent job. Okay, here we go. According to Google, and yes, I do use Google. According to Google, positive parenting is about showing children love, warmth, and kindness. It's about guiding children to act the way that you want by teaching them. It's about helping them to thrive by sending the powerful message that number one, you are loved. Number two, you are good. And number three, you matter. You matter. Well, after my child's diagnosis, and after having spent a significant amount of time doing my best to uphold the Google definition of positive parenting, my struggles began. I tried my best to provide love, warmth, and kindness to my precious reward from God. I say reward from God because Psalm 127:3 says that children are a heritage from the Lord. The fruit of the womb is a reward, and I'm grateful to God. I am grateful to God because God allowed me to conceive, God allowed me to carry full term and birth some beautiful caramel brown, dark chocolate and white chocolate babies who were healthy. So I'm grateful to God for that. But I want y'all to know that I did my best to be a loving, to be a supportive, to be a warm, kind, and fun mama. I was a fun mama who knew that at some point in this positive parenting thing that my children would not be able to talk to me about everything. So I selected strategically, I'm gonna get it out, selected an African village. Yes, I do believe that it takes a village to raise a child. And I did my best to be a fair disciplinarian with each child. When I say that, I disciplined each child according to their temperament and according to their personality. Now, let me say this, because if you talk to my children, they may give you something different, but I'm going to give you the real deal here. My children are headstrong, just like their mama and just like their daddy. So there were some times, I'm just going to be 100 with you. There were some times when I had to cross into that gray area. I'm talking about the area where you kind of uh, get disciplined, confused with punishment. There was some times, baby, when I had to take them back to the old school way because they were determined to do it their way. Yeah, they'll tell you, yeah, she got in the gray and she didn't play. Hey, but I tried my best. I tried my best, y'all, to train up a child in the way that he should go so that when he becomes old, he won't depart. I tried my best to expose each child to the best, to multiple arenas of education, to the arts, to sports. I tried my best to teach each child to be who they are compelled to be, knowing full well that in being that particular person, they would be faced with decisions. The decisions would come with some choices, and the choices are always tied to consequences that they would have to deal with. I tried my best to be the positive parent. And then the diagnosis, coupled with my ignorance of the diagnosis at the time, made me feel like my best. It wasn't good enough. I felt like I had failed at this thing called positive parenting. So let me introduce you to struggle number one. And these are my struggles. So you don't have the right to tell me that they're right or they're wrong because they're my struggles. And these are the struggles that God has given me the strength to wrestle with and to gain greater understanding as to how I must become a mama to a child diagnosed. These are my struggles. Struggle number one. Struggle number one was the flawed perception. I need you to understand, baby, perception is everything. I don't care what anyone says. Perception is everything. This live stream is therapeutic for me, and I'm praying that another mama like me or mamas who understand what I'm talking about become encouraged, inspired, and comforted to go on just a little while longer. But perception, it is everything. It's everything. And my definition of perception is this: it's your capacity for comprehension. And your capacity for comprehension can either make you or it can break you. Many mamas will immediately embrace failure as the be all and the end all, especially after learning that their precious reward has a mental illness and or a mental disorder. I don't know why we do that, but we do. I'm struggling. My child is struggling. And now the immediate family is struggling as a result of this diagnosis crashing into our little world that we were comfortable in, that we were familiar with. And then on top of that, I have crashed under the weight of a flawed perception. Check this out. This is what I did. I'm sharing my struggles. I secured professional clinical help for my child immediately upon the diagnosis because I was blessed to do that. I was blessed to do that because I was employed at an entity that had decent, now I'm going to stop lying, it had good insurance. So I was going to put that insurance to use. I was blessed to be able to do that. I made sure that child got professional clinical help. Now, having said that, and being a minister, let me clean up some things because I've had to do some serious one-on-one with folks in the ministry. I do believe that we are physical. I do believe that we are spiritual. I do believe that we are emotional and or mental beings. We have a soul. We do have wills, free will, okay? I also believe that when one of these particular things is out of order, it is not balanced, or there's an imbalance, then all of them suffer. I say this because I have witnessed and hear what I say and understand what I'm saying. God is able to do anything he wants to do, when he wants to do it, how he wants to do it, whenever he chooses to do it, or if he chooses not to do it. I got that. I got that. God is able to do what we cannot do. I get it. But I have witnessed far too many people in the religious arena come forth, share their diagnosis, get oiled up, hands laid on, spit upon because everybody wants to talk in tongues, and told, you have this issue because you don't have enough faith. Would we tell people with high blood pressure the same thing? Would we tell people with diabetes the same thing? Okay. Again, I know God is able to do whatever God deems necessary, and what's impossible with us is possible with him. And I know he heals according to his will. But in the event that he does not heal, it's a sickness, mental disorders, mental illness. It's a sickness, and it requires gifted people by God to aid in managing the sickness. Let me go back to this. My first struggle was I let a flawed perception prevent me from going beyond and getting beyond. Baby, going beyond what? And the answer is going beyond the shock and my feelings of failure because I wasn't a positive parent. Getting beyond to what? And the answer is getting beyond the shame, the stigmatism, the ignorance of, the guilt, and to the support and education required regarding that particular diagnosis, especially to educate myself and others regarding the effects and the effects associated with. Baby, I jumped through flaming hoops to ensure that the child received immediate help, but I neglected to act with the same sense of expediency and urgency to get help for myself. So mamas, if one of your struggles is the flawed perception, let that thing go. Find appropriate help. Find appropriate support that will work you through this. The whole goal is you have to learn how to move forward and continue living with the diagnosis, gathering the tools you need so that you can manage and your child manages. Whoop, there it is. Don't let your struggle with failure or perceived failure or a flawed perception keep you from growing and going. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say about that. Listen and hear me well. A diagnosis just references that there's an illness, and there's an illness that requires some professional assistance. Again, I believe that if the spirit man is off, if the physical body is off, if the mindset is off, then everything's going to be off. So what did I do? I sought help for my child, number one. I got help for myself, number two. Professional clinicians, in addition to spiritual, come on, somebody, spiritual leaders who are able to understand that as a result of sin, a plethora of things have entered in, and who were willing to help us, come on, understand that the same God who created us is the same God who will sustain us as we do what is required from us to get from day to day. Here's struggle number two. In psychology, when a person overachieves, that's what I'm gonna say. In psychology, when a person overachieves, okay, in one area to compensate for shortcomings in another area, that's called overcompensation. And yes, that was my second struggle. That was my second major struggle, overcompensation, because I want you to understand, I was crushed under the perception that I had failed. I was a failure. I had a flawed perception. So subconsciously, I struggled with the fact I failed over here, but I'm not going to fail in any other areas. And what did I do? I tried to kill myself trying to overachieve in so many other areas because I believed that the diagnosis was a shortcoming and I had failed there. Baby, struggle number two for me is I had to learn how to scale the walls of the canyon of overcompensation. I'm not even going to elaborate on how I cause undue stress and anxiety for my immediate family. So I publicly want to thank you all, Big Daddy, Eric, Adriana, everybody, Mona P, all y'all. Thank you, Kenny, baby sister. Thank you for being patient with me because I was killing myself trying to overcompensate and prove. I don't even know who I was trying to prove it to. I guess I was trying to prove it to myself that I was not a failure and that I could do all things well. Well, the only person that does all things well is Jesus. I wanted to counter the flawed perception of being a failure and a positive parent by proving I was good at everything. And the bottom line is I was killing myself from the inside out. So now that I've sought help, I get help, I continue to receive help, I understand that my job as a parent and as becoming a mama to a child diagnosed, in the words of Snoop and Duval, baby, is living my best life. I ain't got time to go back and forth. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And in so doing, I've got to be clear with myself as to whether or not I am contributing to my children living their best lives in a positive way or a negative way. I've got to be clear about what I contribute to doing life as best we can. I must also be clear about what I cannot contribute or what I am not willing to contribute and what I'm willing to contribute to doing life as best we can. Attempting to overachieve for me in multiple arenas wasn't going to change the diagnosis. Me dealing with the fact that a flawed perception, remember I said perception is everything, was messing me up, would. While I was in the canyon of overcompensation, the only thing that changed was me. And it was a negative change that caused a chain reaction to anyone and everyone I came into contact with. So I had to scale the walls of the canyon of overcompensation. And coming out of this canyon helped me to identify my limitations and redirect and refocus on the I am that I am who is limitless. You heard me. I'm going to wrap this thing up because I'm hungry. I was so wrapped up in my feelings that I couldn't go beyond to get beyond. I did my best, and I didn't get the best result that I wanted, but I got the result that I needed. I got some serious struggles that made me stop, pause, pray, and do a real self-analysis of me. I broke down under the weight of a flawed perception and attempted to counter that flawed perception by killing myself to overachieve. I'm learning. I have learned. I will continue to learn. Life is happening, and baby, the struggles are real. And there are some things, yes, we can fix and change. And then there are some things we cannot. And it's okay because it is what it is. It's your responsibility to develop a management plan that will help you do life the best way you possibly can. I'm learning more and more about transitioning from the role of just being the birth mama into the role of becoming and being a mama of a child diagnosed. And becoming a mama of a child diagnosed, it's a struggle. It's a struggle that's worth having, especially if it helps you go beyond and get beyond, and especially if it helps your baby go beyond and get beyond the diagnosis and all that comes with it, especially if it helps you to grow, to thrive, to survive from day to day. Now, I had to struggle through some things to become a mama to a child diagnosed. I had to struggle with understanding what's perceived as failure can honestly become the opportunity for growth, discovery, and access to, in the words of Gail Murphy Jones, a strength not my own. I am Pulse Reed, baby. One of many prodigal daughters who just decided to come home. And you know what? I am a mama to a child diagnosed. Thank you for allowing me to share on this platform and hopefully encourage, inspire, and motivate other mamas to keep on. It's not easy, but it is doable. I leave you with this quote, and then I'm going to feed my face. I don't know who said this, but I want to share this with you. The most valuable asset you own isn't your money. It's your ability to think clearly in a world designed to confuse you. Mental clarity is wealth. Take care of yourself, maintain your mental health. And if you're a mama with a child diagnosed, it ain't over. It's just beginning. You are not alone. This is Pulse Reed, and baby, I'm gone. Peace.